podcast that asks the most important question. Who gives a shit? We're back with Flo. Flo, man, what's going on with you? How you doing?
Chilling, dude. I just got over a sickness that was horrendous, but I like never get sick, but when I do, it's a doozy.
Yeah.
Yep. So, other than that, let's see. It's been good. That was so like I was in like crisis because you know when you get sick and then you don't eat and then you have a fever and then it's just like just so much at once and you're like, oh my God. I'm just grateful
to,
I got
shut down.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing that shit if I was like homeless though or something. I was like, oh God, dude.
Man, I've been seeing like random homeless little communes pop up in like areas that I drive now, like places that it used to not be that way, where like it's just like in between two like areas that I used to shop at like 10 years ago. I'm like, hey, look, there's a fucking tent city there. In Texas, I'm surprised. Cops here just love beating homeless people's asses. It's like their favorite thing.
Rousting, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, man, my wife yelled at me today. I'm gonna go whoop a fucking homeless guy's ass.
Dude, it's crazy how corrupt a lot of police are, especially in like a border state like Texas. It's wild, dude.
Oh man. So back in my hustling days, I used to sell to an ADA.
Damn. You got that good shit, bro. That fucking lawyer coat.
Well, no, it was weed.
Oh, he bought. Okay. Well, I mean, hey,
here's
the lawyer
deal.
Dro.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. It was because I could get Shoreline. It was a closet grow from this guy. Just reminded me, I recorded a bonus episode. So I went and ran down an old hustling partner of mine. And I interviewed this guy in the trap house, and we fucking reminisced about the ye old days of yore.
No fucking way, dude.
Well, I got to catch up with the guy. So
that's amazing. Was it the black dude or the Mexican dude?
He's half Mexican, half Native American.
Nice. That's a good, yeah.
So interesting guy. We talk about like how we met and what our come up was like how we had some shit set up and sort of like a little bit of the vibe and the culture at the time, because all this shit is like pre-social media. There's a bunch of shit that's just different.
Yeah, Craigslist.
Well,
opiates aren't like they're kind of taking hold, but.
Well, it was a thing. It was around, but I mean, we were around with these grimy spheres where we could get our hands on anything, but we just like doing the feel good shit, man. We just like selling like weed and shrooms and shit like that. And we bust a decent deal of like some of the more grimy shit if someone could make it worth our while. That's basically what it had to be, like a big deal. And we didn't do very many of those because no one was willing to come with the scratch.
Exactly. So, well, that, and then you don't want to fucking deal with the end user of that shit.
Yeah, this is one of the ones where
that's the biggest liability.
People know that we're just literally middlemaning this. We're just taxing their ass, and that's the end of it. This is going to be like a real deal, and we don't want to hear anything about it. If you're coming, and you got to come 100, you got to come right, and everything. So, those deals, they're not that often. But man, was that fucking easy fucking money. Holy shit! You make like $5,000 in like 15 minutes. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and that's the way to do it. Is like basically. Like one level below brokering, and then just being like just moving something from one place to another, not having to cut anything up, bag anything up, any of that bullshit.
Oh, so fuck. Well, anyways, I was talking about this. I was talking about this ADA, and there was a situation where a fucking cop had really fucked some people up, like in a drunk driving incident. The fucking cop was drunk. And so the thing is, it didn't go through the normal channels to get to the ADA office, because normally I didn't know this, but the union reps will literally just like yank these things off of the desks and get them negotiated outside, or it doesn't even hit the ADA office. It goes to some sort of mediation where there's not even any. It gets bargained outside of courts, and they get these weird deferred adjudication programs where nothing really goes on their record.
Dude, I was watching this. There's this like show that had a bunch of seasons, and it's it's like early 2000s production quality, but it's just interesting. Called I Almost Got Away with It. It's all about people that go like jump bail and they're fugitives.
Yeah.
There was one on there about a guy that murdered this girl and her son. It wasn't his son. And he like put him in a tank and shit. Well, anyways, the detective comes over and asks him questions and does the interview. And I think they're actually dead in the house at this time. And after they leave, he disposes of the bodies. But the mother of the girl becomes suspicious and is like, why is her cell phone here? Why is her contact case here? Why is this and this and this? And like the mom did more detecting than the fucking detectives. And I was like, these dudes were fucking drunk. Like they must have been on one to not. I mean, it's always the boyfriend first, but then how do you not do like a simple look around, especially when they invite you in? I mean, they might not have seen the bodies because they were in a room or whatever, but yeah, all that other shit, or her ID and wallet and all that stuff, car seat, you know, it was all still there. But
so this drunk driving case, or actually, I guess it was intoxicated assault or something. It's something whenever you injure someone unintentionally with a vehicle, because It was like a serious injury, like life threatening, put a people like in like critical care and like maimed people too, and so it hit the ADA's desk, and then it came, and then an offer came out, and the union reps were like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And the union rep came down there, and she literally flopped her dick on the table and told that ADA that case wasn't going anywhere, and that's exactly what happened. It left that office. Never heard about it. They never heard about it again.
Dude, you ever watch body cam footage of a police officer pulling over a police officer that's driving drunk? It is so funny, all the nonverbal communication that's going on, and you totally know if he didn't have the body cam on, it would be like, all right, I'm just gonna drive you home. Like it is insane.
And yeah, there's no body cams back when I was hustling on all this shit. But fuck. And so back on the how was our weeks and everything? I've just been fucking working like crazy, and it's gotten to the point where I've had to start yelling at people at work to leave me alone. Like it's kind of funny because shit's busy enough that I had to like basically be the guy that enforces a bullshit barrier to the shop. Because, you know, since the pandemic, you know, hey, the cream rises to the top. So here I am. I'm not in a normal corporate structure like everything else. I kind of am my own guy. Like I run a specialty department. I'm basically the head of special projects. Well, and then I oversee a bunch of other shit.
You guys got busy during the pandemic, right?
Yeah, we did at one point. At one point, we started making weird things like anything that manhole covers, ice cream scoops, yeah, man. So, but, you know, it's whatever would make a buck. But then oil and gas picked back up. And now we won't even give someone a quote that's less than 2 weeks out unless they're willing to pay just a crazy premium.
Huh. Well,
and people are lighting up out the door. Like it's just we're running 24/7. We can't go any faster.
Yeah, and I mean, now's not the time to fuck about. You got to capitalize when it's like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of money getting thrown around, and I love being real passive aggressive about saying being like, hey, I might just ask you for a raise just to be an asshole. And
yeah. I'm thinking about exploring some other options. You know,
ABC, always be getting a better job.
Always be close. I do like ABC.
No, always be getting a better job. That's what ABC. So, but anyways, let's get to the show. So, you go first, Flo. What you got for us this week?
Oh, dude, this one is one that hits close to home. Not literally, thank God, but they are reinstating a not nationwide, but it's like statewide on, I believe it's 3 different states in China, lockdowns again. It's 51 million citizens. And guess how many people got COVID?
Like 30.
Well, yeah, 1,400.
Oh,
so, I mean,
okay.
Essentially. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy that you would do that to 50 something million people. Yeah, it's three provinces.
All right, hold on a second. Let me pull this up.
But they have a
what the fuck?
zero tolerance policy on COVID, which I'm like, this is just stupid.
So okay, the picture for this article is it's a guy in like
protesting, of course.
Oh, of course they are. But this dude has like a fucking leaf blower shooting steam all over the place.
Dude.
Like, what is all this?
It looks like a
dude, this guy's
ray gun too.
He's in like full. Yeah, dude, it's like gold weaved. What is this?
Yeah,
shit?
Dude, it doesn't look like a normal, like medical apparatus. Those are usually like stainless steel, kind of basic or whatever. But yeah, his is like it's a freedom destroyer.
Damn.
That's in Changchun, which almost sounds like it's racist.
So they're locking down 51 million people. Is that okay?
Yeah, so dude, this is. I mean, it smells. It reeks of something weird.
Well, China has zero fucks. Zero fucks. They'll weld you inside your fucking apartment. Oh my god! What they're making like these weird lockdown dorms and
3,900 beds in a week, bro.
Holy
with Chinese
shit!
Drywall, bro.
Dude, I'm looking at this picture. There's like this city square or something. And it is just completely empty. This thing is gigantic. And there are so many cameras. Holy shit.
Dude, it's like, every 5 feet, there's a spiral staircase of 6 to 8 cameras. Like, okay, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 poles with like at least 5 cameras each. But if you look down, so you see the cameras at the top, there's cameras midway down too.
And there's cameras on the holy crap.
Yeah, there's cameras on cameras, dude. I didn't even notice that. It's a good catch. But my God, I'm so glad I don't live in China.
Well,
nobody should ever forget. I should say nobody should forget, and I forget his name, but it's like Xingwan or something. But that MMA fighter that kicks the shit out of all the Tai Chi masters, his social credit is so bad. He has to ride with like the stage equipment and shit.
Wow. It's just...
Yeah, because the government says, Tai Chi is the best martial art. And then he literally knocks him out in like 3 seconds. And then they've destroyed him. I'm not surprised that China gives a shit as far as the who gives a shit about COVID. All that's left is China because they know they're done goofed. And I guess they're just scared to death of this shit. And... Well, also they got the leverage to lock it down, so government's going to do what government does. Professor Michael Song from Hong Kong's Chinese University estimated that the 2-month lockdown in Wuhan cost China 2% of its GDP.
Damn.
I'm trying to double check. I guess it's like 26,000 cases total. Giving them as much room as possible, but it's still 26,000 people. You're going to affect the entire economy countrywide. I don't know. This is crazy. And I think it's Shenzhen too. So it's all those manufacturing places.
Maybe well,
not. Regardless, yeah. I'm like, who gives a shit about COVID anymore? Period. This was God's solution to the tent cities, the downtrodden.
Not really, dude. Those people, they all have homeless gonorrhea, and they overcome all that shit, man. Like these people,
yeah, the meth-lined lungs, dude.
Yeah, dude. They like nothing's getting through that shit. Like COVID trying to get in through their lung tissue is like walking through Mordor. Like.
Dude, yeah. I wonder how much credence there is to that, because a virus needs a host to kind of work to a degree, and if it's so riddled with like,
but I mean, if you're not old, then this shit, then chances are you'll be all right. And I can see why China would care. They got an aging population. They're and it's really strange. Their birth rates are just all fucked up, and so I mean, I know why they did it initially, but this overreaction is crazy. Like, it's just nuts to see government power just reach that far out. where you're just like, whoa, because I mean, that's just so alien to me that could even be like a thing. Like if the cops actually did try to enforce some kind of lockdown like that for longer than like a week in Texas, that's not happening. The cops would literally quit.
Forget
like the cops wouldn't do it. They vandalized judges' houses. They were trying to put mask mandates. Like they would tell them to fuck off. Like that's what Texas does. So seeing people actually comply and to all this fucking crazy government surveillance and this just how massive that boot can be. Yeah, that's really shocking.
Well, they'll get snatched, and if they don't get snatched, they'll just make their lives as hard as possible. One of the things a lot of people don't understand about social credit is that when you reach a certain level of social credit, like when you want to use public transportation, you are not allowed to buy the cards or whatever it is that you can scan and just walk right in. You actually have to wait in line and buy a ticket. So it's just little things like that that build up over time. And I think people are so scared of, not being able to just go about their lives in a normal, efficient way that they're like, fuck it, man.
They got two people walking a dog, and oh man, there's a really big racist joke that you could say in there.
Bro, one of them, they don't have their mask all the way on, and I think we know why.
Well,
you're ready for lunch, bro. All right.
Oh gosh, well, I mean, I'm kind of curious what their position in the Communist Party is to be able to be out during a lockdown and walk the fucking dog.
Yeah, dude.
Man, big flexing on people.
Yeah, for real. It's you wonder if the Chinese people, if they did rise up against the government, I wonder, what that would look like, because I don't think they're own guns, right?
No, but really, I think the only thing that would rationally work, maybe if it was like just a massive strike.
It would have to be, nationwide, kind of all at once.
Yeah, where they just shut the whole damn economy down. And they're like, no, this doesn't represent us. Fuck you. And
oh, dude. Okay. And then to top this off, the last thing this article says is last month, police reported 3 suicide attempts in 27 hours at one of the quarantine camps.
Damn. Fuck. That's fucked up.
Dude, people are like, lockdown. All right, that's it. And they're like, I'm fucking checking out, bro.
Damn. They got to put nets around the suicide camps, or around the detention camps or whatever.
Yeah,
fuck.
well, Shenzhen, that's one of the places where they have those manufacturing factories with the suicide nets. And the one time there was a factory on fire there for 6 hours, and they didn't realize because of the smog. I think that might have actually been in Beijing, not Shenzhen, but it was something that I heard, and I was like, this is just incredible.
That's pretty crazy. But let's get out of fucking COVID. Yeah, because really, who does give a shit?
Fucking communist COVID, bro.
Yeah, whatever. And get into what I'm talking about. So, all right. Vaush. So I got a fun... Okay, so let's play the headline game. All right, guess the headline. Or guess the outlet, sorry. J.K. Rowling slams suspected pedophile influencer Vaush for telling her to shut the fuck up.
Dude, that's
who do you think wrote that?
But they literally in the headline said suspected pedophile Vaush.
Yes, J.K. Rowling slams suspected pedophile influencer Vaush for telling her to shut the fuck up, with the U as an asterisk.
Dude, that's got to be some kind of cuck. Or no, it can't be some kind of cuck thing, because I don't think they would like say that in the title. They're a little bit edgy. Is that like oh shit, what's that? Is that Drudge Report?
That is the Post-Millennial.
Okay, so it is. That's it. I've never heard of that. I don't read a whole lot of news.
I've seen headlines from them around before. So, let's see what their other headlines are. Chris Wallace and Brian Williams, the two top Cuomos, whatever. New York City Education Department defends, including book featuring pornography in school libraries.
Yeah,
okay.
this has got to be some conservative-ish. Oh yeah, okay. So the pop-up says we take on corrupt politicians, the far left, and the corrupt corporate media. So yeah,
but man, it is so funny to me that an actual outlet called suspected pedophile influencer Vaush. That is so fucking funny.
He deserves it, dude. Like, I don't think he's a pedophile, and I can't. Those accusations.
I can't. Can you look me in the face and honestly say that you don't? That you okay? Can you look me in the face and tell me that you think that he is actually not a pedophile? Are you so sure about that?
That's
what's the over and under on that?
It's got to be 50-50 for me, and that's it's pretty big. I mean, how did that come out? Because I remember he was doing some of that, skeptic YouTuber shit where it was like age of consent laws or something.
Yeah, so he's talked about that, and he gets taken out of context all the time. There's one where he said that he doesn't see any good argument for the banning of child pornogaphy. That one gets taken out of context a lot. So he's said edgy things here and there, but they'll just run with it. They're like, he's a pedophile influencer.
I know.
He's an influencer to fucking commie soft brain people. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, if I was Vaush, I'd send them a fucking cease and desist just for I guess it says suspected. That's not technically. A lot of people suspected Adam.
Yeah, that's the thing. The internet suspects everybody of being a pedophile. That literally means nothing.
That's why I'm hesitant. You really got it. I mean, when there is somebody that is actually that, the proof it's pretty. Like, you take someone like Amos Yee, and it's like the writing was on the wall. It's pretty. Even in hindsight, you're like, oh, it's even at the time, it's pretty obvious.
Sure. A lot of people has anyone ever called you a pedophile on the internet, Flo?
You know what? They haven't. Actually,
really, no one in VC has ever just been like, you're a pedophile.
Nah, dude, I don't think so. Because the circles that I run with, that's
wow. You're one of the few people that's actually not a suspected pedophile, because people will just randomly flame you and say some shit. It's like on the internet, they might not know anything about you, but they'll be like, yeah, whatever. You're just probably a pedophile and you love Hitler. I'm trying to
think, people think Ethan Ralph is a pedophile. People think Mr. Girl's a pedophile. People think, who's the fat guy that does the show with Dick now?
Vito.
People swear Vito's a pedo, and it's like,
I guess I can be kind of a blue pill beta cuck at times.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of people in that kind of YouTuber sphere where, I mean, Mr. Girl, it's a joke. I've always thought he was smart enough to do it tastefully, and some of the stuff is kind of funny. It's just, I don't typically find them funny, but I'm not the type of guy that will say,
"Oh, he's a pedophile, folks,"
based off of jokes. But a lot of people do, and of course, Vito and him like to suck each other's dick all the time.
Well, yeah, they do.
He was like a total fag.
Yeah, but yeah.
So, anyways, this is what happened.
This is J.K. Rowling. Fucking
okay, so Vaush just randomly blasted J.K. Rowling said some dumb cracker bitch shit, and
as she does.
Yeah. She said, there's some transgender legislation coming out. Oh yeah, the letting transgender women go to women's prison. There's
that is kind of based. I'm not gonna lie.
So, anyways, she goes all going on about this, and so the trans community hates J.K. Rowling now. They hate her. She's the worst thing since Hitler. Her words cause violence against trans people. She's murdered trans people with her words, and
she's basically trans Hitler.
But because she is a white woman, but here's the deal. Once you get enough money, you become persona non grata in these weird bread tube commie spaces where they really care about all these social justice things until you're rich, and then all of a sudden nothing you got going on matters.
So she's gets labeled a trans basher because she's wrote a book.
A TERF.
Yeah. I actually love TERFs. TERFs turn me on, bro.
TERFs can be pretty based.
Yeah, dude. But she wrote a book, and one of the characters was trans. And when I read the synopsis, it sounded like it was pro-trans. You know what I mean? Like, it was it just the fact that the villain was trans in the book was enough for her to get, hung in the town square.
So so what Vaush said was all J.K. Rowling had to do was shut the fuck up, and she could have been almost unironically beloved for like a century.
That phrase to me is irritating. Like, Vaush
hold on,
has
uncritically,
fucking,
been almost uncritically beloved for like a century. That was how he said it.
And almost uncritically beloved. Vaush needs to shut the fuck up. He's irritating.
Well, yeah, he tries to like doctor up his words to make what he's saying sound way smarter than it actually is. The Amazing Atheist does the same thing. He like took a page out of his playbook where he just can put some confidence and bravado behind it and make his shit sound really smart. And now he is an informed guy, but he's got so many fucking dumbass bad takes.
He's not a writer too. He's gonna try and go, internet intellectual with a fucking author.
Yeah, he's a debate bro. He yells at like neo-Nazis online. And so what's funny is that what J.K. Rowling's response is just as cringy. What you and your ilk fail to appreciate is how tediously familiar I find your tactics. I had a violent ex-husband who used to tell me life would be great if only I'd comply. But you're making the same mistake he did. Women like me can't be bullied out of resistance. What the fuck?
She could have done this perfectly, but the problem is like, unless she got the shit kicked out of her by her ex-husband, like, I have a feeling her definition of violence is not what most people would. But all of her fan boys and girls love that. Like, that sounds like it's straight out of Harry Potter.
It sounds like some Lifetime bullshit. Like, I'm like, oh my god, get over your fucking violent ex-husband. Okay, everybody knows JK. And so Vaush just responded with, women be quieter and start apologizing challenge. Because that's what he said to her. And
what does that even mean?
So
like,
I don't know.
I don't even get the joke, dude. Like, it's
stupid. So here's what's funny about this is Vaush had to clean up that tweet a lot. He apparently overstepped the line with all this shit. And so all these weird SJW people were like getting real pissed at him. And Vaush was coming up with the craziest fucking shit to try to justify misogyny, because, misogyny is not allowed. Like, you can criticize her, but don't be a misogynist about it. And he's trying to say that, like, against these rich elitists, the misogyny is necessary to use certain tactic or whatever. And I mean, he's really fucking, man, I have no idea where the fuck his logic train is going on that. Because
it pisses me off. I didn't realize he had 200,000 followers on Twitter, so he's more popular than I thought, but I should have figured as such the amount of times people bring him up.
Oh, people love communism and this weird eared looking guy in his man bun.
It pisses me off because J.K. Rowling should know that she's just platforming this guy. Like, how many followers did he gain since this started?
Well, I mean, people know who J.K. Rowling is, but I bet you people aren't active in her community or anything like that. So if, like, does it really fucking matter? And yeah, she shouldn't have engaged. She shouldn't have engaged at all.
Her reply got 10 times the amount of likes.
Yeah, well, that
could be this particular thing. Sorry, I keep interrupting, bro.
You got the obnoxious white bitches doing it, so who gives a fuck? And this whole exchange is just retarded. And I would have given a shit at all if it wasn't for the good people at the post-millennium suspected pedophile Vaush. That's literally the only reason I'm talking about this, because of how fucking funny it is.
Pretty fucking crazy.
This is actually because we talked about Vaush and all the dumb shit that happens with him before, but I find this guy incredibly useful, actually, because he's got his finger on the weird fucking, blue-pilled cuck pulse better than anybody else. Like, he breathes this shit. He's like that personified in a way.
It's so funny because all Vaush ever wanted to be was Destiny a few years ago, and now that Destiny is kind of more centrist, he's taken up the torch of white, weird shaped cuck. But yeah, dude, J.K. Rowling has 13 million followers on Twitter. Or basically 13.9. So you go 200,000 followers. Someone with 13.9 shouldn't even fucking.
Yeah, but what does that even? We're still talking about social credit scores here. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, it doesn't matter. What matters is what people are talking about at the time and the immediate buzz. And this is old news again, because I've wanted this to play out. I wanted to see Vaush have to clean all this shit up and him trying to apologize to random people or justify himself. And man, it took him like a week for people in his chat to stop talking about it and pestering and badgering the guy.
Well, he just doubled down, right?
Yeah, he kept on coming up with his big galaxy brain misogyny necessary for me take that makes no sense. Real weird cognitive dissonance about this shit. Like, you could see him fucking skip gears in his arguments too. Like, it's like,
okay, well, let me ask you. Like, me personally, I don't give a shit with what anybody does in their personal life. I mean, societally, I could say maybe it's not good to maybe like subversively push people towards the trans agenda, which I do believe happens to a degree. Just because you look at, like, historically, every empire that's ever existed, what they start doing right before they fall. But that being said, you know, when it comes to the law and shit like that,
we're in a different age, and I don't think it really matters. And like this whole trans bill shit, it's not gonna fucking matter. Prison wardens do their own thing. And, like, they can have all these laws on the books. That's great. They'll throw them all in the same tank.
Yeah, but okay, yeah. Then I was gonna ask you, like, what do you think, though? I mean, especially
they'll put them under administrative seg or something like that. Like they do things to separate these people. Expensive. They got these. What do you think? They just like pop up, like put some money in a machine and a cell pops up. They got this shit built. Now it's also Scotland. They don't just lock people up in Scotland like they do in America. We got like per capita, our incarceration rate's about 15 times what the UK has.
Yeah, I feel you. And then if you look at like what trans people are most often arrested for, that's the other kind of interesting factoid. But I don't know. It just seems like
I mean, I could see a Bobby being like, "Oh, yep, got some poof getting a blow over there." Like, whatever.
Like Chris Chan.
Do you have a license? Give him a fine.
I think Chris Chan is trying to go to a women's prison. He might already be there. Let's do a little Chris Chan update.
Oh no. Well, while you're looking that up, let's also shift into the voicemails.
Hi, guys. This is Charlie.
Having my mouth and anus aggressively penetrated
by voicemails. So, by all means, give us a call. Oh, fuck. I always fucking forget the number the worst times. All right. 281-747-6015. And tell us who gives a shit. Okay. Let's see. Here is our first voicemail of the week.
What's up, Adam and rotating co-host, renowned Metal Gear expert Merlo Williams here. And listening to you talk about your skyline on the last episode, I'm catching up on my podcast with new employment, so I don't get to listen as much. Listening to you talk about your skyline, it reminded me of this article I read when I was doing my laundry. Another JDM legend is biting the dust. The Subaru WRX STI is going the way of the Dodo in 2022.
No.
Now, my favorite car.
What? Okay.
Not the Subi.
So, are you a JDM guy, Flo?
Yeah. I mean, for cars, for sure. You know, I like trucks a lot too. But yeah, they make the best engines for sure.
Well, yeah, if you want to put 1 million miles on them and not have to worry about it too much.
Right.
So,
well, other than the LS.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan of just good engineering. I love machines. Right. My hat that I wear to work says machine enthusiast. Like,
do you think they're so good at that shit because we said you can't have airplanes anymore after World War II or whatever for the longest time?
Partially part of it, all the aerospace engineers went to design small motors, and then they also have a cultural thing where they really try to just like excel in excellence and not bring shame to the company by having a car on the side of the road.
Damn, dude, America needs to fucking step up, son.
We're doing all right, man. The number one American-made car is the Honda Accord.
Oh yeah, or assembled.
They're made in Tennessee. Right. A lot of it's manufactured too. So, okay.
Nice.
Well, all right. So back to Merlo Williams.
The Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution was discontinued in 2015. That was
I
about 7
one.
years ago. And they said that they were exploring electrification options and evolving to an ever-changing marketplace.
Oh.
Flash forward to last week when I read this article, and Subaru said almost beat for beat the exact same fucking thing. I'm so tired of this obsession with electric cars because we're about 30 to 50 years out from it being a viable option for most people, and financially with the way things are going, maybe never for most normal people like you and me, because they can't even keep the heat on in the winter and the air conditioning on in the summer in the city where I live. We had a cold snap here a few weeks ago, and my parents got a notification from the local power company saying that they were shutting the grid off to conserve energy. Motherfucker, if you can't even have the infrastructure, you don't have the infrastructure to heat people's homes, how the fuck are we gonna charge electric cars off the same grid? So I guess I give a shit because I love the JDM Legends, love the Evo, love the Skyline, rest in peace to the STI. It's really cool that you got one. I'm glad that you're getting your car up and working, but goddamn, we can't get sporty fucking sedans anywhere anymore because of the stupid obsession with electric cars. Fuck electric cars. Long live the JDM Legends.
Man.
Yo, should we talk about my next article since it's such a fucking perfect segue?
It is. Okay. That is a really perfect segue.
Yeah, this guy's on my fucking wavelength, dog.
All right. Yeah, let's just get right into it. We'll hop back to the other voicemail whenever we get done with this. Okay,
That's
so
just too because I didn't even think about what he said, and what he said is really actually critical.
So okay, look here, Merlo Williams. You have it backwards. Why have the grid charge the car?
The cars are gonna charge the grid.
Oh man. So dude, you told me what this was about, and I found some people talking about this shit on Reddit, and holy shit, are people in California pissed off about electricity prices. Like there's some areas that cost like 50 cents a kilowatt hour. I'm like, what?
Yeah, dude. So Enron back in the day just raped the fuck out of California. They had I think it just happened, it wasn't malicious at first. Like they had this rolling blackout during some kind of winter time, and they were getting kind of concerned because, winter in California is not really as much of an issue as the summer is in regards to electricity. And the people at Enron, who at the time were completely not making any legitimate money, like all of their stock value was being determined based off of some very weird convoluted futures type of thing. And so they found out that if they call the people that operate the plant, and they have audio recordings of people doing this, and they're like, yeah, you want to go ahead and just shut it down for a day or whatever. They figured out that it jacks the price of electricity up. And so who knows how many people died because of this, but it was people from the Enron, stock department that were calling them and, just completely manipulating their market just to make more money. And I remember there was one conversation between Enron employees, and they were joking like, what are you going to do about grandma when you shut her power off? And one guy was like, the best thing would be if an earthquake happened and that whole fucking thing floated out into the ocean. And I was like, you guys are savages, dude. In any case.
So wait, do you have an article about this?
Yeah. I'll send it to you real quick, and then you guess what it's from.
Okay.
California wants to use electric cars to back up the power grid.
That's the headline. California wants to back up.
It's pretty neutral. If you guess this, I'll be surprised.
I'm gonna say
it was written
MSNBC.
by close Vox in my
Vox.
opinion. Yeah,
Vox. Okay. So
very liberal, you know. It was written by Neil, not spelled Neil, Neel, Danisha.
Danisha. Okay.
Danisha.
So I get the concept, right? You're charging your car, and then if they need it or something, they can just pull. They're using you're using all the electric cars as Tesla power walls. That's the idea.
Dude, I just had an interesting idea too. So the only way that this will work, because people in California are so stupid and they don't know how to use tools or understand utilities. There's going to have to be some sort of transfer switch, essentially, to start powering the home off of the car. And I'm wondering, like, how many linemen are going to die because they're backfeeding into the power grid and they're trying to hook up power lines or something.
Why not? Why? I mean, if you got a Tesla Powerwall, why shouldn't you be able to like plug in your Tesla and then run off the Tesla battery to power your house too? If you got like if you're like hunkering down because of a disaster or something, or you know some shit happens and you're like frozen in or whatever, you know why the hell not? Energy storage is an issue because the batteries just aren't there yet. Like we don't really have a real dry cell. There's no way to stop these things from degrading. There's been some ones that kind of exist, but for whatever reason, they just can't seem to make these things outside of a laboratory.
Yeah, I mean, that, you know, graphene technology, I feel like once that gets more advanced, they'll be able to do like, you know, micro building, essentially. I forget the term, but where they can, you know, make
they make a good lossless battery, like I think that they'll get there eventually because they've made them in the lab, but the trick is how you going to make it. So once they can figure out how to actually make one that doesn't suck, then yeah, that'll actually be a very big difference as far as like something like this. But it's not there. But also from just like a business and political sense, like hell no. Once I have something like it's mine, I bought this power, now fuck you. Like if you want it back, you pay me double.
Yeah, because it says either by providing backup power to homes during blackouts, which is what is really the only like practical use to me. But it says feeding energy back into the grid where demand is especially high. That to me just seems like, I mean, like you think about how much Californians pay in taxes, and then they're going to steal some of your energy back when the demand gets too much for the grid.
Oh, hell no.
Vehicle to grid is what they're calling the concept.
So what this is, it's like crowdsourcing a city's backup battery. Like just buy the fucking battery, city. Like if you have, or like, I could see that really being a thing where if you really do have a lot more like solar power, that really does start taking off where we have, you know, large blackout times, then you need more storage. And if they did get a lossless battery, even if it takes up a bunch of size, then you could in theory have like some buffer to it at least. But all this shit is just so far out. There's so much shit that has to get done, and it's such a monumentous task. It really takes a lot. It took so much hype just to get the train going. It took some like, you know, billionaire quasi celebrity guy to make an electric car even work. Otherwise it would have gone anywhere until we tapped this planet dry.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about like the forest fires that they have. Apparently, Procter is PG&E. Is that Procter and Gamble? And
yeah, I think so.
They were found responsible for starting some forest fires in like 2014 or something like that, because it's hard to maintain
That makes Reddit make more sense about this. And all of a sudden, actually, okay, I didn't.
Pacific Gas and Electric Company, not Procter.
Oh, okay. But I did see the PG&E around there. People were talking about that at Reddit. So why? I mean, I don't think it's necessarily like a terrible idea. What are they trying to like make people do this or something?
I'm not sure. I think they're just testing it right now. This is probably just something to virtue signal about, you know, because like they in typical cuckery fashion, it says at the bottom, it's still a program that's only accessible by a lot of high-income residents. It's one thing to be able to afford an electric vehicle. It's another thing to be able to afford it. It's so stupid, bro. Like the places where the grid is most impacted is like the super dense urban hood populations where you've got like, you know, all of this multi-level housing.
All right. Well, we need to get back to that last voicemail, but Reddit actually has a point that makes a lot of sense. So we get to catch a Redditor. We'll double back on that. So let's see. Here's our last voicemail of the week.
Hey, so we've come full circle, I think, with COVID now. We finally done it. So in Washington State, we are no longer required to wear masks as of March 12th.
Wow.
It's plenty past that at this point.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
people are still, half of the people are still fucking wearing masks. Like, dude, the CDC says it's okay. You can take those off now. Why are so many people subscribed to the old fucking ideas that those things, one, do anything, and two, you have to wear them anywhere? Do they not get the news, or do they just actually fucking believe that nonsense? So really,
it's a security blanket.
Totally a virtue signal.
So who gives a shit about COVID still?
Right,
China.
that's what I'm saying, bro. China apparently.
That's it.
Dude, those voicemails were spot on, bro. They were thinking exactly what I was thinking, literally.
Yeah, dude,
I'm the
that's
best
some,
co-host. I mean,
that's like some break-in simulation shit or whatever.
Not,
the fuck.
I'm hacking it, bro.
All right.
Honestly, dude, it's so funny. Do you travel around the country a lot?
Dude, I'm on a fucking dude. Come on, man.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you could hop on your jet ski and head over to Miami or whatever.
Come on, like, dude, it's like whenever people ask me where I'm from.
Yeah, I won't do that. I don't know how.
I know, but I'm like, no, I don't travel. You know, I'm on fucking parole. I'm gonna be on parole until they got flying cars. I should.
Well, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I know, like, you can get permission though, right? If you wanted to.
Yes, and I might need to soon because I own my own company making photo booths. Okay. And I got a method patent on a type of photography to photograph a vehicle, and so nice. I sell these photo booths, and they're installed in dealerships. So I might need to go to fucking Chattanooga and go fucking slap one of these things up there.
Well, in any case, you go to different places in this country, and it's so funny where, like, in the conservative places, people look at people wearing masks like they're stupid. And then in more liberal places, people look at people not wearing masks like they're stupid. And it's just the divergence is so funny to me.
Yeah.
It's so funny that because they believe, like this guy's saying, that if you're wearing the mask, it's pointless. And it's really just like a submissive show of you following.
It's like, I'm here for the team, y'all. Like, yeah, you're real selfless fucking moron. If anything, it's like, man, you're freaking people out, bro. Take the mask off, man.
Yeah. Well, and also you as a former criminal, what do you think this is going to do for like the stick up game and shit like that? I mean, people can kind of wear a mask.
It's going to be great. Yeah, you can still get away with it. It's going to be a while before you're going to look out of place in a mask.
Right.
And so now people are still going to be able to fucking, just get the drop on someone for sure. And speaking of getting the drop on someone, let's get into my last issue that I want to talk about. So, Boogie 2988, this fucking guy.
Fire it now! Fire the warning shot now.
Yeah. All that came to a head this week. It's over. He's finally done with this court case. Do you know what they did to him?
I actually don't know, and it's because usually I'm on top of this shit. I'm not sure because he got charged with
aggravated assault.
Oh, aggravating assault. Okay, because he did fire a gun in a school zone. I remember that.
It wasn't in a school zone.
Did he try and claim what is it called?
Hassle doctrine means I get to take you inside and fuck you.
That hassle doctrine. Did he try and claim hassle doctrine?
Dude, I love this whole interaction, man. So Frank Castle and the Boogie 2988 thing was so damn funny. And it's like the perfect embodiment of Boogie being like this weird fucking emotional vampire. Playing the victim so fucking hard when he's like, come at me, bro.
Don't kill my dogs. Oh. It really was, dude.
Dude, okay, so in his like I'm back video, he's like, this guy, Frank Castle, said it was going to be the worst day of my life. Worse than when my parents molested me.
Yeah, dude, when he was on
he brought up getting molested twice in his I'm back video. He can't ever stop about his parents molesting him. Like, move on, man.
In the kill stream thing that he was on, he talked about it and like tried to do the victim thing like extensively. And it was so funny because, Frank Castle was just playing on it. Like, I'm going to rape you like your brother or something like that. It was just, I've never not heard him talk about that shit.
So what's funny is in the, in his like, I'm back video, he's like, I told him not to come over here. I'm like, nope, that's exactly what you didn't do. That's what you didn't do. He never said, don't come over here. He was, if anything, he was like, oh, my neighbors would shoot you.
No, bro. Shit. He explicitly said, I wish he would come to my house. Like during the Keemstar shit, it was explicit.
Frank Castle said he tried to message him about some kayfabe shit.
That too.
I don't know if he dropped the messages or whatever, but, so anyways, Boogie got deferred adjudication. 2 years deferred adjudication.
So it's not done technically?
No, yeah, it is. He's basically on a type of probation. He just can't catch another charge for 2 years and it goes away.
Oh, because then they'll hit him with whatever, the typical punishment.
Yeah, he'll be
aggravated assault.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a violent crime, isn't it?
It is, but it isn't. It's not with a deadly weapon or anything. Or okay, it is. There's no bodily injury, so it's aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Because if you brandish a gun at someone and you point it at them, that's aggravated assault.
Yeah, for sure. That's wild, bro.
So, especially because Boogie stepped out of his house onto his terrace and pointed the gun right at him. He stepped out and approached the guy. And so Boogie's acting like that any jury would have sided with him and everything. And the letter of the law is just not on Boogie's side. Trust me, I know better than most people about how this fucking works.
Okay, so after Frank Castle gets a gun pointed at him, a loaded gun, and a shot popped off, Frank Castle calls him the hard R N-word and just walks away, bro. Walks away, dude. I'm like, this guy is the fucking best.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'd love to shake Frank Castle's hand. I think the dude's hilarious. Like him and the whole Sam Hyde bunch, like I really appreciate that their comedy exists. Like I think that they are the most moronic geniuses.
Well, and it wouldn't happen if they weren't like fucking 6'5" gigantic men.
Oh, I know.
Lumberjacks that would kick the shit out of you if you tried to, disagree with them or whatever.
Well, here's the thing: no one ever fucking tries. Like, you ever fucking like tackle the tall dude's legs or anything? Like, no one thinks they will because everyone just backs down all the time because they're constantly dealing with hoes. But they're professionals; they know what they're doing.
I mean, he gets Frank Castle. One of his things is he tells people, he makes them thank him for his service after he fucks with them, and they do. It's why it's just
that's so funny. Crazy. But Boogie, Boogie is funny enough why I started podcasting in a way.
Damn,
because
bro. He's been around for a long fucking time. I will say that. That's the only reason he's relevant.
It's not that, dude. I was locked up for most of the shit that made it popular or anything. So, and what reason being is because people were talking about this shit, and I have shot someone over and shot at people. And and I was charged with aggravated assault and went through the whole court system. I know everything. I know all about this shit. And so I did a bonus episode with Dave from NFHC, who is now persona non grata and kicked out of that podcast. But I did a bonus episode with him, and I realized I kind of like doing it. It's sort of a fun little hobby. And from there, that's when I started like calling into shows and. That's how like what got my podcast started. But really, it was the impetus for me to want to talk about the Boogie thing that was like do a bonus episode, and that was the spark of me podcasting.
Well, shit, dude. I mean, at least Boogie's contributed something to the world. I mean, like, fuck. I can't think of a person.
Boogie is such a piece of shit that
like, Go ahead.
Boogie will try to sell a still image that came from Frank Hassel's GoPro of Boogie pointing the gun at the camera as a T-shirt on his merch store.
Boogie does that?
Yeah, it's on his merch store right now. Oh my
god.
And he's like, these are going to be a real limited run, guys. The haters are out there. They're trying to get me.
Oh my god, he's so cringy, dude.
It's he did a funny his Francis character where he's like freaking out about his World of Warcraft account getting hacked or whatever. That was funny. I didn't know who he was or that it was like that he was like a YouTuber or whatever. It seemed plausible for to be a real guy, but I didn't think anything of it and kind of moved on. And I'm like, oh, this dude actually still like makes videos and has like millions of followers or something like that. Okay, that's weird.
I think I have a clip of Boogie saying the N-word back in those times, and I get him confused with Matt Jarbo though, because they're both like
they're like the same person, like. Kind of like just, well, I don't know. Apparently Jarbo did some shit with Ethan Ralph or something that gave him a redemption arc. Like, I still don't understand how that worked.
Oh, dude, it's great. It was fucking, oh my god, dude. So Ethan has been like sneak dissing Medicare or I don't know. Like Medicare's never really said anything negative about Ethan ever. And people would talk shit about him not doing that for forever, because Ethan's it's like it's crazy what's happening with Ethan's life the past 2 years. Well, anyways, who did this? It was I guess he also tried to fuck over Andy Worski. And so Andy Worski had like a Death of Ethan Ralph show with another guy called PPP, who's this guy.
I cut you off at the pass again, running circles around Dickie.
I love that. Oh, that he doxed Dick Masterson on that episode of Ricada's show. Anyways.
Oh, what the fuck?
Andy and PPP, who's been a major Ethan Ralph hater. He's always been like they would like stream snipe him and get more donations, and like just always been an Ethan Ralph hater. Anyways, they did a show called Kino Casino. And they had porcelain. They had Jim wasn't actually on that show. They cucked everybody out. It was like this. There's somebody on YouTube called the Cancerless Jim Show, and they just take segments of Jim and they have him say things that he's not really saying. And so he just did that. But MC Jarbo premiered a song on that episode. Jesse PS actually went to Ethan's house and dropped off a package of diapers. Live while the show was happening. It was fucking crazy. It was like 5 hours.
Damn, well, anyways, this is fucking crazy. Like, so I'm glad we're catching up on some of this shit, because I'm going to Ethan Ralph's bowling alley event up in Dallas, because I grew up in the DFW area. I mean, I got people there.
Oh, dude, and let me tell you, bro.
And it's in Texas, so I got a place to go already. I got tickets. I'm going.
I fucking went to Tampa, dude. All of the people that are going to go to a meetup like this, they're like insecure, weird neck. It's like, it is perfect for someone like you, because you can just control the situation. Like that's what I did. It's just, there's nobody there that's like threatening or, it's pretty good way to spend your time. Anyways, Ethan and Medicare started, kind of like a little bit of war back and forth. And I think, Medicare actually did a stream about Ethan going through everything. 2 streams now, actually. Pisses me off because the second stream was just like 2 hours of Medicare talking about shit we already know about. Okay. But anyways, that happened, and then it's just been, he's basically burned all the bridges, because even Andy Worski and Medicare hadn't really turned on him. But what happens with Ethan is, if he even thinks you're talking shit about him, he's like, fuck it, dude. And he'll cut ties and he'll start talking crazy shit. Like, Ethan went to Portugal. Oh my god, dude, this is so funny, bro. Ethan went to Portugal.
So I knew about that, how he got his ass jumped.
Dude, Andy is from the Azores, which is a fucking tropical paradise, pretty far away, like off the coast of Portugal, right? Well, anyways, Ethan goes to Lisbon to try and own him, like, oh, I'm going to get to Portugal before Andy, because Andy's been talking about it for years. And then, he got his man purse stolen, and the shit kicked out of him, dude. And that happened, That happened after that first episode or something.
Yeah. And, so I haven't really consumed any Ethan Ralph stuff. He's always been just one kind of like step away from like the sphere of like people that I'm around and stuff.
We got to do a
that.
bonus episode on Ethan Ralph, bro, because I've literally been diligently following it for the past 2 years. You could not write the shit. You could not write the
well,
shit.
We definitely do. So the only interaction I have with Ethan Ralph is I told him I was going to his event, and then he sent me a friend request on Discord. So we're friends on Discord.
Nice. Dude, if you get into his Discord, I'm a gold star caller.
Oh. Well, I'll be sure to ask him when I see him. I'll be like, I've never been on the kill stream or anything, but I think I'm the kind of guy that goes on this type of stuff.
No, you'd be the most interesting guest he's had in a while. He does a lot of political guests and shit, which is,
yeah.
I mean, I'll watch it.
Oh, I can get political on a
still.
motherfucker. I don't give a fuck.
Don't, bro. I fucking hate it. It's so tedious and boring, and like, I don't give a fuck.
But that's the whole thing, is that I'm such a nihilist. I don't care, and I'm a political outsider. Nothing matters to me because I can't vote. My opinion doesn't matter either, so they can't get mad at me for my opinion. I don't even have any agency at all, so they can go fuck themselves if they want to get mad about a political opinion. It's a really fun way to disarm people.
Yeah, I mean, he that's the thing. One of the reasons I love Ethan is he'll have anybody on his show, like anybody that's been deplatformed, banned, persecuted, whatever. He'll have him on his show, and so that's why it is kind of interesting. But it starts to be too much of this intellectual right wing, like just babble, dude. Like, and his show got really popular back in the day because of something called Internet Blood Sports.
I am aware of that, and what was it, GSP, and some of the other shit that. Who was the guy that came from the drunken peasants? That's like Jean Paul, whatever. The guy that's like,
yeah, I know who you're talking about, but
the guy that like got a hyper autistic to travel state lines so he could bang her, like the tard fucker.
Dude, it's on the tip of my fucking tongue, bro. Yeah, Jean Paul Gay Rapey. That's what it is.
That's
dude.
It.
Yes. I loved you. Fucking Dick had him on his show and asked his opinion about COVID. I was like, do you know who this fucking guy is?
Well, it's the perfect guy to ask about COVID.
Yeah, I guess kind of. But
and the answer is yes. Yes, he did. Come on, man. Oh, fuck. But
why did we start talking about Ethan? I've forgotten now.
Because of Boogie.
Oh, Boogie. Yeah.
And all this shit popped up on the kill stream, and fucking Frank Hassel was fucking with them. And now they give him deferred adjudication, and he had to lie. He didn't do much on the internet for a little while, and he had to pay a bunch of court fines. Like, it cost him money. So at least there's that. Oh, and he actually did get booked in jail.
He was a fucking asshole.
That's Ethan, by the way.
Yeah, I know. All right. Well, let's get down to talking about whatever the fuck we were talking about.
Oh, bro, that's my shit, dog. That's my shit, dog. I let it all count.
All right. And get into To Catch a Redditor. Okay. So let's see what we got. Let's go for the electric cars.
Okay, yeah.
From r/electric vehicles. Revolutionary Cat 4 writes, if done properly, yeah, I know it's a big if, this is exactly what we should be doing. Run the Jewels writes, I'll back up my house with my car, but I'm not sending to the grid from it. There's no chance in hell PG&E wouldn't find a way to fuck us over on that.
100%.
Radio Bamboo writes, and the utility is going to pay us retail rates for that power, not to try to fuck us with Net 3.0, right? Right? Mel Pointer reference writes, in my part of California, a blackout is usually caused by a wildfire. I don't want to drain my EV battery keeping the fridge running and the lights on if I might need it to evacuate.
That's a good
point. Bam. Totally dismantled all their shit with just that.
Well, I don't understand how they're not, like, nobody's bringing up that Enron shit. Like, California is supposed to have, Enron's whole thing was, like, deregulation of the power grid, right? Because they were investors in electricity. That was one of their commodities. And so California, they said, oh, California's having all these issues because they're too regulated and da-da-da-da-da. But it's just like that one guy was saying, think about every electric vehicle that's plugged in California contributing 1% of its energy that just immediately gets charged right back. But they could siphon that off and then still charge ridiculous rates for the electricity.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Reddit has to say about Vaush.
From r/Destiny. Comp 321, right?
See, Destiny. That's what I was saying.
I know. When you brought that up earlier, I was like, that's so funny. Because, the God, you want to talk about a dude that's written in someone's head, like, rent-free. Fuck.
I work in mysterious ways, bitch!
Fuckers be like, Strict Maintenance 1 writes, Vaush is joining the anti-woman arc. Skilled Roy 2016 writes, I don't really...
Dude, he's been anti-woman. Have you seen his ex-girlfriend, for crying out loud? Oh
my God. It's all in that thussy.
Really like the normalization of misogyny in the Twitch politics community.
Shut the fuck
writes,
up.
What's the transgender equivalent of Uncle Tom? LT Labcoat replies, the joke is that it's Uncle Tom after transitioning.
Yeah, it's Uncle Tina, dude. Oh, God, bro. It's so funny that so many people give a shit about what Vaush says. Like these pseudo-intellectual, like you said, galaxy brain weirdos.
Yeah, I mean, he's good to hear what a lot of the terminology and buzzwords of what people have. He's really hip to it. But yeah, fuck him. All right, let's see what they got to say about COVID.
He's a suspected pedophile.
Suspected.
r/news. Ming Yao 13 writes, it's low because the low numbers of people that had COVID. My city has so many vaccines and nobody wanted to take them. They had to give free cooking oil as an incentive. Get her done, Bob writes, I've never seen any place in NA spray the ground for COVID. What is this smoke for? It's like keeping the bees in the nest? People are fucking dumb, writes, COVID man, homecoming.
I swear, bro, they made that gun all gold and weird and futuristic looking. It's just like a media thing. Like, I don't even think that's viable. Like, you're gonna disinfect every surface.
Like, that thing literally looks like it should shoot out like a laser spray, and it's a laser power washer. Like, that's what this thing looks like.
Mind you, there's snow on the ground, which means it's freezing temperatures, which means the virus is probably not going to survive anywhere outside.
Well, so they spray like hydrogen peroxide or something like that, but it's like, or whoopity-doo.
Even that, dude, that's horrible for the environment. Like, I don't know.
What, you trying to, have you seen Beijing? They don't give a fuck. All right, let's see what Reddit has to say about Boogie.
From r/Boogie2988. Tabasso6 writes, guys, what happened to him when the stalker came? I'm not sure. I just came here from his TikTok and I'm a new fan. Good Robots writes,
TikTok.
When you fire a shot in the air, that
his TikTok
fucking kill you and take pleasure doing it.
Yeah, I forgot that I had that, but that's what he said. He goes, I'm gonna fucking kill you and take pleasure doing it.
Yeah, that doesn't look good in court. Man, he was acting like he's there. Like, oh no, they gave me the steal because the DA knew I would have won this court case. Bitch, you got scared. You take him to court. You could have taken him to court anytime. At any time, you could have said, "Prime time. We're going live."
Yeah, those Twitter DMs that you were mentioning, like Frank Hassel was in that city. He says it wasn't to egg him on, but he took this picture with this yellow anaconda, which is like a famous snake in Boogie's area or whatever. And after Frank posted that, that's when Boogie went on the offensive. So Frank really did some 4D chess shit.
Sam Hyde will do that type of shit. So, I mean, he works with the guy. So, okay. Oh,
have you seen that? I'll send that to you. That's gold.
We got to get back to Reddit and their galaxy brains.
That bullet has a chance of returning to the ground at lethal speeds. People die this way regularly from celebratory gunfire falling back down. I want to replies, not entirely sure that's true, as once the bullet's reached a maximum velocity in the air, it can only fall at the speed gravity dictates. However, it would have been better if the warning shot was fired into a grassy area of the ground, as it would have been a 100% effective backstop and preclude the possibility of what you say might happen.
That's
in Boogie's
stupid.
panic state,
That's so
though,
dumb.
Cognitive impairment could have clouded his judgment as to the angle of his firearm.
Everything that guy said is fucking stupid, bro.
Dude,
like, does he
I
not
know.
understand how ricochets
Dude, Slice
work?
was so pissed when I sent that to him. He's like, "Dude, what the fuck is this?"
I couldn't control myself. I was like, this guy is just...
It's like, what is this?
Bro.
Like, oh no, the angle velocity vectors of all this stuff. Like, oh my god, you are the biggest nothing know-it-all. Holy shit! It's like, they did a MythBusters episode about this shit, and he's like, oh, the speed which gravity dictates is like, if it hit way up there, it would be air resistance, and then after that, there's so many factors. Like, it's like,
well, it's
holy
literally
shit, dude,
called
shut the fuck
terminal
up.
velocity. Like, it's apropos name.
Yeah, but the angle of it matters because I mean, Boogie had it at 45. He wanted to go maximum fucking distance with that shit.
Well, he didn't want to shoot through his fucking roof too. I mean that.
Well, he was outside off the
aiming
terrace.
for the school. He was aiming.
He was
for
out
the
on
school.
the school was the other direction. He actually was right about that.
Oh, okay, well, lucky for him. I don't think he was considering.
Yeah, people. He's like, oh, these stalkers and haters are spreading misinformation about me.
In any case, he shouldn't be able to own guns or have any boyfriends that own guns or whatever the fuck, whoever's gun it was. I mean, my God.
Oh, the AC Man's 44 Magnum.
I think wasn't it a 380? It looked like a little.
No, it's a revolver. It was a big fucking revolver. What are you talking about, dude?
It had like a 2-inch barrel, dude.
It's a snub nose, but did you see the cylinder on that fucking thing?
I gotta look at it again because at the time I thought it was small. But if it was a 44 Magnum, I mean, he could have fucking killed him. He could have. I mean, think about that. Like a distance
even if it was let's say it was a
14
357 or even a 38 or something like that, you still fucking fuck a man off with a 30. A 38 will get the job done.
Yeah, but if you shoot somebody like with a 38 on accident or whatever, it's not a huge deal. You shoot someone with a 44, it can not be a huge deal. I mean, like it's possible. But if you get close with a 44 Magnum, fucking forget about it.
Oh, 44 Magnum will fuck your shit off, dude. That's a fuckload of fucking power. It's like 1,400 foot-pounds, some shit like that. It's terrible. And it's a big-ass fucking bullet. There's a lot of ass behind that shit. It's no fucking joke. Blow your head clean off. But oh man, but that's our show for this week. So Flo, you got anything you want to plug, man?
Nothing really to plug. This was a fucking good one, man. I appreciate all of the fans out there of Who Gives a Shit. It's a great show. We're gonna keep this thing going. Ethan Ralph, if you guys don't know about him, look into him, and also look into like Kiwi Farms and how that played a role in his. You can't even. I mean, this man released his own sex tape, ladies and gentlemen. He is. He's glorious. Oh, I guess I'll plug the kill stream. Essentially, what I'm doing. Fuck.
Yeah.
But no.
Also, be sure to give us a call and give us death threats at 281-747-6015. Look at our Patreon at patreon.com/WGA Shitshow. We're posting a new bonus episode there now. And if you give us $100 a month, CJ will teach a woman how to power walk.
He can do it. He was supposed to come to Tampa, and we were going to do some kind of weird puppet thing where we like controlled his limbs with ropes, but he didn't end up coming. Pussy
he got fucked over on that one. But also check out our friends at NFHC Podcast, fantastic show, and the Rich Dickman Show at patreon.com/Rich Dickman or richdickman.com for all your Rich Dickman needs. Well, that's all I got for you. See ya.
Take it easy, guys.